Yo, what's up, new people? How you doing? FaZe here from FaZe in Orbit. Welcome to the Centre Circle Football Show live. We are live today. I'm just checking a few things out to make sure that the stream is fine. Just checking a chat feature that I've just had added in. Don't know if it will work or not. It's supposed to come up on the screen. I'm using Streamlabs this time instead of just OBS, so I added a few graphics to it, some events to it, etc. So let's see what happens, if that's going to work or not. I'm not quite sure, but I can see you in the chat anyway. So anyway, yeah, I'll fix that some other time. Welcome to the show. And on this episode, it's just myself here talking, and I'll be sitting here talking about football. The season so far. What do you think of the season so far? Let me know. I think it's been a fantastic season. I think that, as always, the same old clubs keep coming up, right? The same old things. How has it been going, etc. Yeah, so there we are. I can actually see that where it says, hey. Great. Bear with me, guys. I'm just sorting out a few things here. So yeah, Faye said, hey. Yeah, like I said, it's been a fantastic season so far, and I've really been enjoying it, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic. Liverpool and City seem to have started how they ended the season, which is good for those fans, really. You saw City beating Watford the other day, scoring 8, which people were surprised about, but I wasn't really surprised about, because it's kind of it's just a normal thing, right? I guess they're used to it by now. You would expect a result like that from that team anyway, you know? They're just such a well-oiled machine by now that they could do something like that quite easily, you know? So that wasn't a surprise at all. So yeah, what else has been going on? Tottenham are starting to really level out, you know, and I was talking about this for a few years, and not only me, a lot of people, and I think that Tottenham they've reached their peak, to be honest with you. I think they reached their peak last season when Poch took them to the European final. I think that's when they reached their peak. And a lot of people were saying, you know, if they were to lose Harry Kane or Eriksen, that that will be it for them. But the fact is that it hasn't even been about losing any players. It's just been about them, and you know, their whole philosophy. They've bought a few players in. They don't go spending massive amounts of money, but they bought a few players in, like Moira. Well, last season anyway. These players have really done well for them. And you take a team like that to the European Cup final. Like, where else can you go? And you don't win it. Where else can you go when you think about it? But yeah, I really think this season could be the end of the road for Tottenham in terms of being up there, challenging and stuff. I just think that they'll probably end up, you know, maybe this season I think they'll do well. They'll probably still come third anyway, but I think it'll be downhill all the way. Okay, all the way, that's a bit much. They'll make it to the Europa League all the time, 5th and 6th, but I do think that Poch is likely to leave at the end of the season. And I think he knows it as well. He's taken this club as far as he can, and fair enough to him. Where's he going to go? I'd love to see him come to Man U, who I'm going to talk about next. But yeah, I mean, he could pretty much take his pick, really. Could end up at Barca, could end up at Real. They're both struggling, both those teams. Barcelona, they lost the other day to Granada 2-0, which was a shock. Granada are a team that just got promoted to La Liga. Well, yeah, and Real Madrid. I mean, what the hell's going on there with Zidane and stuff? Like, it's pretty much all over there. So Poch would have a lot of suitors, where he would want to go. So yeah, that's Tottenham. In terms of Liverpool, some of their play maybe at times, like against Napoli, will show. I just think they're tired, really, to be honest with you, winning the Champions League. That you got to think about the euphoria of going through that campaign, going not only getting to the final but winning it, and then coming into the Premier League and starting so strongly again with the pressure. Every single match for them is insane pressure that's on them. Them and City, they're just like in their own world doing their own thing, really, when you think about it. Crazy amounts of pressure. So that's Liverpool, but yeah, I guess they'll still be up there. Liverpool and City, they'll both be up there. I think Tottenham will be up there. Chelsea with their new boys, their youngsters, I think they'll be doing quite well as well this season. Will they finish third? Not quite sure, but yeah, I think they'll do quite well this season. Tammy Abraham, what a brilliant player. Mason Mount, youngsters, and Lampard. I think he has what it takes to take this club forward, especially with the transfer ban and especially with bringing young players in. I really do think that Chelsea will be pushing for that Champions League fourth spot by the end of the season. They really will, and it'll be good for them. It's nice to see good young players, British players as well, coming through, like Mount and Abraham. They're really, really good players, so that'll be fantastic for them. Yeah, so then that brings us up to the crap show that's Man United. I mean, we went the other day and lost to West Ham. If you don't know, I'm a United fan, so reluctantly these days. We went to West Ham the other day and we lost 2-0. It was just absolutely just ridiculous. When I look at this squad, we literally have nothing left in this squad. Selling Lukaku, we sold the only person that knows how to score a goal. Probably Martial is the only one that's left, really, who knows how to finish. Rashford is finished before he's even started his career. Him and Lingard, or as Ole calls them, Rashi and Lingy. Oh my God, we had Chuckle Brothers at the back last season with Jones and Smalling. Now we've got Chuckle Brothers up front with Rashi and Lingy. They can both get out. We have nothing. He's still playing Matic. Matic is done. He's still playing Mata. Mata is done. Both those players are completely finished. Ashley Young at left back. I mean, all right, he's covering for Luke Shaw. But even then, even Luke Shaw, he's not exactly like, one of the best left backs in the world, is he? So it's crazy. It's crazy, I must say. Yeah, that's that. That's Man U. And then if I think about it, it's like, I don't know. I think that I'd like to see Liverpool go and do it this year and go and win the league. I think they deserve it. Van Dijk again. Although he showed a bit of shakiness, like I said, it's like he's going to have a bit of a day off form. But even when he is a bit off form, he's still better than 99% of the defenders in world football. So, and hopefully he'll win the FIFA Player of the Year, because I think he deserves it more than anyone, to be honest with you. And yeah, I think they'll go quite far. I bet. I reckon anyway. They'll go quite far. Who else is out there? Let's think of. Let me just send something out. Sorry. Who else is out? Yeah. What else has been happening off the field? Really, some stuff. Well, before I get onto that, let's talk about some of the other teams. Leicester. Wow, they've been fantastic this season. James Maddison, I'm a massive fan. He's a brilliant player. I really do think that he's got a lot of talent. And we haven't seen a young English player like that, like a real number 10 creative player in such a long time. Not counting Joe Cole, he was playing out wide. But I'm talking about a player from the middle of the park who can run with it, who can dribble, and who can take people on. We haven't seen that in ages, and yeah. Who else? I think personally, if you put, I think I'm going to make a really bold statement, but I reckon that Leicester have got the best midfield in the league. Those three players, I just think, are fantastic, and I love how they complement each other. I just think it's amazing, to be honest with you. Like those players a lot, how they do things. So Tielemans, when you think about it, Maddison's the one doing all the creativity, and then you've got Tielemans that does the box to box stuff, and then you've got the other player. What's his name? You got the other player, Tielemans. Ndidi, yeah, what a player he was last season. Statistically, he was the best defensive midfield player in the league in terms of the stats or tackling and the amount of ground he covered, etc. So interceptions and stuff, he was the best. So you got him. At the back as well, Johnny Evans. People were laughing last year when Johnny Evans was linked to bigger clubs, but he's shown that he's experienced and he can do a job. I'm sure Arsenal would rather have him now than David Luiz, and he would have been a steal for like £7-8 million. I remember in December they were looking at him. A few clubs were looking at him. He would have been an absolute steal. He's been playing well, and Sinoglu, that Turkish defender, he's been absolutely brilliant this season. What a fantastic player. I was watching some of the match the other day and some of his tackling and his reading of the game. And he's strong as well. I believe this is first year in the league, I think. But correct me if I'm wrong. But he's been really good. Fantastic footballer. Yeah, guys. So if anyone's watching, please put your comments in. So then I can discuss any topics that you have on the show. I want you to talk about Bernardo Silva a bit as well. What he's been up to in the press. Before I get onto that, though, did anyone see the video of Phil Jones and Edward Woodward in the stands at Man U, watching the Man U game? It's classic. So apparently, Phil Jones said to him, like Phil Jones is sitting behind him in a stand, and he goes to him, "Ole out in the morning," under his breath, and Ed Woodward turns around to him with such an angry face, and he was basically saying something like, "Stop it. Don't say that," like a child. And I was like, that's such a funny moment. Brilliant. It made me laugh, that moment. So yeah, let me just check a few things out. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Let me know what else is there. What else that you have. Do I think Bernardo Silva, do I think he's racist? Got a message from Darnell. What's happening, Dan? Actually, you know what? I was thinking about this because when I saw it today, right? And I actually think that, it's one of those things where, let me put my point across and let's see what you think about it. It's one of those things where you can tell that him and Mendy are bantering like that. So Bernardo Silva is bantering with Mendy with jokes like that, because apparently there's another video as well in the locker room where he made a comment like that about him being dark or something. It's like some video. I haven't seen it myself, but I heard about it. So it looks like Bernardo Silva makes those sort of jokes about Mendy. But then on the surface, do I think that's racist? I think it is racist. And the second point is that, and sorry, I want to say, even though probably maybe where he's from in Spain, I don't know, but maybe they make those sort of jokes. But do I think that it's racist, even though it's bantering amongst them? Then obviously, yeah, it is. But then do I think that the worst thing is, that's the worst thing, but the second worst thing is, how can he not know that he'll get a reaction and be called a possible racist by putting that on Twitter. Surely he's gonna know. That's the point that I don't understand. Then he comes back with, I can't just joke with a friend or something. But then keep it private. But I do think, I mean, yeah, I mean, what do you think? I just don't think, even if it is, right, just don't put it out there anyway. And that's the last thing that you need in football right now, because the racism is all over the place, isn't it? Pretty much. It's pretty much everywhere. It's so bad. It's getting worse. It's not getting any better, is it? Look at Lukaku going to Italy. When you think about it, he's left to go there, and he was getting racist abuse from the first few games. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this Bernardo Silva thing. Let's see if I can bring it up. Actually, I'm going to try to. See if I can bring this thing up, because it was pretty bad. Yeah, so you said here also he removed the tweet shortly after. Was it because he knew there was something wrong, or was he advised? Probably. Like, I think in that case, that's what I mean. I think he was so naive to think that he could put something up like that. It must have been because of the advice. It has to be. I don't think that, maybe someone at City caught wind of it, and then they're like, oh my God, we can't be having that, right? So, yeah, I do actually think that he was advised to take it down, to be honest with you. But it's just ridiculous, So I got another question in the chat, and that goes, also, what are your thoughts on Man United losing to West Ham, as I was at the game and Man U was shocking? I was just talking about that about 5 minutes ago, but I'll go through that again. I think that it's absolutely ridiculous, and we look like our whole team lineup. First of all, let's talk about the players, right? We have nothing. We have no talent in this team whatsoever, apart from Pogba and De Gea. That's it. Mata is finished. He can't even run. The guy can't even. He doesn't even have the legs to play football anymore. And that was our creative force from the midfield. Matic, is done. Completely finished as a player. So you got those two, and we're counting on McTominay, some youngster coming in, and he's not going to set the world alight, is he? He's not meant to. But that's who we're relying on in midfield. That's our midfield done. In defence, I think Wan-Bissaka, I think everyone can see that he's a good defender, and we needed a right back. But at the same time, going forward, he was shocking. I don't know how his crosses look like in real life, but from where I was sitting, I was just thinking, you can't even beat the first man. So that's our defence. Ashley Young at left back covering for Short. Absolutely ridiculous. Get out the club. And then, man, that front line, Rashford can't hit a barn door. He can't. The guy's a squad player. Since when did anyone think to give Marcus Rashford a number 10 shirt at Man United? He has no talent. He's a squad player at that. He's definitely not a striker, because he can't finish. He has no composure in front of goal. The only person who can score for us is Daniel James and Martial. And James he was inexperienced in that game from what I saw, the runs that he was making. Lingard, we're going nowhere anytime soon with Jesse Lingard. We've gone back. I think that we were better under Moyes. I'm just going to say it. We're better under Van Gaal. And I think Ole out. I really do. I think Ole needs to go. What do you think? You were at the game. How did it look from where you were sitting? Because from where I was sitting, it was disgusting, man. Let me just reset the chat box so that I can see it. Let me press save. So if you type in, you can see it now on the screen, so everyone else can see what you're typing, hopefully. But yeah, Man United, man, I don't know what I'm seeing these days. I'll be honest with you. Do you think we'll get top 4? That's a question for guys in the chat. Do you think Man United can still get top 4 this year? I was just talking beforehand that I think that this is Tottenham's last season with Poch. and they've reached a plateau and Poch will leave. But do you think we'll still get top four? That's that's the uh, that's the big question. So yeah, let's have a look. So you said ultimately, should your manager be given time, or should they get rid of him to try and salvage finishing in the top six? Um, I don't know, Don. The thing is with time, right? It's good if you see signs. Like people keep saying, when they talk about Emery out and when they talk about Solskjaer out, people say, "Oh, but Klopp was given time." But Klopp had a project of 3 years to go and challenge for the title. Not only that, but you could see the evidence on the pitch that he's improving all the time. With Solskjaer, I see nothing. We've gone backwards. This is our worst start to a season. This is our worst season since we got relegated back in the 70s. Relegated. This is our worst season. He's averaged 1 point per game since March. So you tell me if he should stay or not. He should go. He's completely done. Fowles has joined the chat. What's up? Who do I want instead of Oggs? Is that Ole? Is that Ole you're talking about? I want Poch. Poch ain't going to Man U. No, I think he will. I think Poch will come to Man U, to be honest with you. He, it's a great one for Poch as well. And he'll get rid of all that crap. Where else would Poch go? I was saying before and earlier in the show that he'll go to Barcelona maybe or Real Madrid. So West Ham were pressing for a while, and it's only when you went 2-0 down that Man U showed some passion, desire, but the game was done. Yeah, I agree. Man United fans were walking out within 15 minutes to go, and they were quiet in the second half. Yeah, well, they know. That's the thing. The whole hierarchy needs to be ripped out. Edwards, etc. Yeah, the whole thing needs to go. All of them. I agree with you. And I was talking about that. Did you see that video with Phil Jones in the stands with Ed Woodward? And Phil Jones was whispering to him, Ole out in the morning. And Woodward turned around and said, shut up. That was funny. Poch will want a Champions League Cup. I think he'll go to like Barca or Real. Did you see Barca lost to Granada the other day 2-0? So he might go. Oh, Espanyol links. Yeah, right. Real then, because Zidane's finished. There'll be a lot of managers either at Christmas time or next summer that'll be out of work. I'll tell you that much. Poch to Madrid, yeah, definitely. But I was talking earlier before you guys joined about Liverpool and that slip up to Napoli. And what do you think? Do you think the players are tired, or because they've been under pressure so much with City on their tail all the time? Do you think that it's just tiredness that can get to them and you can forgive that? But do you think they'll still have what it takes to go and win the league this season? Because you look at Kevin De Bruyne in that form, and last season he was injured for about 10 or 11, remember? 10 or 11 games. With him on that form, he can just go and do it, right? What do you think? Yeah, what's happened to Eriksen? That's a good question. What about the demise of Eriksen? He's been doing nothing, actually. I don't know how to. You can't do Hangouts anymore, so I have to stream through OBS. So I don't know how to do it with multiple people. I think we'll have to set up a Skype or something like that. So yeah, I don't know how to do it with multiple people yet on OBS. But I'm streaming through a software called Streamlabs. That's why I'm able to put text and chats and stuff. So I'll have to organize how to get multiple people on. Might have to go through Skype with going through OBS, so I have to figure that out. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to Eriksen. I haven't checked out much of that. Do you think he's done, or he'll leave? Or maybe I think he knows that Tottenham have come to the end of the road. That's what it is. I think he knows that Tottenham's come to the end of the road, and he just wants to go. Which is fair enough, isn't it? Because it doesn't look like they're going to be signing any big players anytime soon anyway. I think they're done. I think they know they're done. The only one who won't leave is Dele Alli. He'll just be sitting there and watch them go back into the Europa League or something like that. I was also talking about Chelsea. Where do you think they'll end up this season? I think they'll get top four. Well, possibly. I think they'll be pushing Arsenal for top four. I don't think United will get top four this season at all. No one came in for him in the summer. So Ericsson, yeah, it's funny. Such a brilliant player. I'm sure I'm sure some of these teams are regretting it now. I'm sure Zidane would take him now if he wanted to. Serie A, Inter for the win. Yeah, I hope so. I'd love Inter to win the La Liga, win Serie A, but they got a hard task against Juventus, isn't it? Juventus is just, that's like a mini Galacticos team right there when you think about it, with Pjanic, Ronaldo. Such a brilliant team. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good for Serie A to have Inter challenging for the league against Juventus, because those were some classic games. I was watching some of those on YouTube the other day. Classic matches that they used to have. Going back to Ericsson, he folds in the big games, yeah, pretty much. Whereas a lot of players, sometimes you get big players that do that, fold in big games. So, do you think that Bernardo Silva was racist? Let us know. Me and Darnell were talking about that just now. Let us know in the comments whether you think this Bernardo Silva thing was, because that's the last thing that football needs right now, is another racism scandal, basically. Let me know how the stream looks, guys, because it's the first time I'm using this. You've got the chat box there, and in the bottom right, we've got the event list, so that's subscribers and things like that. What did he do? Let me try and bring it up a sec. Hang on. I'll show you. Let's try and bring it up. Wait. This may or may not work. Window capture. Let's try and show you. Okay, can you see that? Oh, let me go back up. So yeah, he basically put out this tweet. Let me go back to the other screen. If you can see that. And he said, guess who? And that's a picture of Bernard Mendy, the left back. And then some old Spanish type of character, like on the right hand side. And yeah, that's what he did, apparently. But weird, isn't it? But apparently there's some history between them of doing something like that. Like there's another messed up. He said it's messed up. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what Darnell was saying. Darnell was like, do you think that's racist? I said, yes. Because even though, so you don't know how these people are brought up, right? Even though that's something that they do in Spain or wherever, where they come from, that's blatantly racist. And how can you not know what you're putting up there? Yeah, it's racist. You see Bernardo Silva running around like that, and a great player. What's going to happen? What's Guardiola going to say about that? No, man, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's funny because it's so dumb how you can put something like that out there and not think that it's racist. Yeah, that's what he did. It's crazy, man. It really, really is crazy. So yeah, I'll be looking to close the show off now, soon. Do you think that Van Dijk will win the Player of the Year? Because I think that he should, and I think that he'll deserve to. I think he's such a brilliant player. Even on the video games, he's so good. I can't get past him. I was playing Tottenham against. I was playing Juventus against Liverpool the other day on PES 2020. I couldn't get past him. He's such a beast in real life. So yeah, guys, thanks everyone who jumped on in the chat. Yeah, you think he'll win the Player of the Year? He should. He'll be brilliant if he does. VDS for the win. Oh yeah. Well, VVD, Virgil van Dijk for the win. Yeah, that's cool. He should do. So remember, we're here every week, normally on a Sunday, live for the Centre Circle Football Show. If you joined us live, you have a privileged job because you can go into the chats and you can interact with us, just like I did today. And we can answer your questions live on air. Or you can go to youtube.com/phasinorbit after the show if you're watching after we've recorded it. And you can put your comments below, which we'll read out in the next show. You can also support my channel, Phase in Orbit, if you go to patreon.com/phasinorbit, where I have different series, not just football talk. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you like the new live stream setup, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.